when I was preparing for the interview, I was thinking that I would ask you how to close a deal, how to arrange a cold call, and all the details of call with a potential customer, with a lead. But then I was thinking, why not we arrange a trial call, imagining that I am a potential client and you're selling me something. What do you think about this idea?
We could try a trial call, but you need to tell me who you are and what I'm selling to you.
You decide. It's your call. You call me.
So let me give you a typical kind of example. So, from Mobilesquared's perspective, and we're in the business messaging and CPaaS, we're the leading analyst in that space. What we see is that, from an SMS perspective, so an A2P SMS perspective, where businesses are using messaging to communicate with their customers, the market share of that in across from micro through to enterprise, only around 5% of businesses are using that technology. So from a cold sales call perspective, I'm going to assume that I'm talking to you, Tatyana, as a person that is in the I don't know, say the retail industry. You started up a retail business. You've got, let's say, 30 shops in the UK. You're thinking of expanding across Europe, but currently, your marketing is through, kind of email flyers and through your website. You're not really engaging with your customers, yeah. In that way.
Okay, let's follow this scenario.
So, hi, I'm Andy. I work for Mobilesquared, and I'm giving you a call today to talk to you about, how you engage with your customers and to see if there's any way, with the technology and the understanding of the market, we can help you with that. Yeah.
Hi. Yeah. My business faces some problems in terms of communicating with my customers. So, what could you offer me as a solution?
So, Tatyana, what information do you know about your customers?
Well, I say quite basic because we've installed the website and we get some data from the Google Analytics. So it's just the general information from that, I would say.
But do you kind of have a sense of, do you know their email address? Do you know their mobile number?
Yes, I know.
Oh, that's really good. And I assume, I don't like to assume that, but you also know, kind of their age and gender and where they, or which country they live in, yeah?
Yes, it's mainly English-speaking countries.
Cool. So you've already got a really, really good bit of, intelligence about your customers. So how do you use that when you're trying to engage with them? So let's say you're running a promotion for your target customers. How do you tell them about that promotion?
It's mainly email marketing, I would say, because we collect data about emails and mobile numbers, and then we send them nice emails about us and trying to stay in touch. But it doesn't feel quite effective, I would say, because the opening of emails is not quite frequent as we wanted.
Yeah, and that, I think that's a problem for everyone faces is, predominantly your customers, are very, what we find with most consumers is they are, predominantly mobile users, and that, they have a lot of messages coming in via their email. There's quite a lot of spam associated within that. But what we've experienced with other retailers is basically they use the intelligence they know about their customers to actually target customers based on their age and demographic with specific offers using mobile marketing. So they'll actually send out a little SMS to the customer that really kind of introduces the brand to those guys, and also tells them about something that they might be interested in. So what we kind of know from a market perspective is we know that 90% of consumers open up an SMS message within 3 minutes, as opposed to an email where you kind of normally need to be sitting down. You can do it on your mobile, but normally you're sitting down and you're spending some time to go through email. Actually, SMS gets that kind of instant response. You hear that little ping, and normally the customer's kind of inquisitiveness draws them to open that message.
Mm-hmm. What I'm concerned about is the price. How much would it cost me to send one SMS? Because I want to keep the price as cheap as possible as email marketing. Let's say I use MailChimp.
Yeah, so I mean, actually, SMS, in terms of engagement, in terms of return on investment, has a lot higher return on investment than email. So I imagine you pay kind of less than 1 cent for sending an email out, whereas maybe an SMS might cost you 3 cents. But the kind of advantage of the SMS environment is it's this immediate engagement you get from the consumer. So basically, because of this inquisitive nature, they basically get the message and they open it up. Now it's not like an email; they can come back and look at it later. But actually, what you want to do is get that engagement. So what we can show to you based on independent market statistics is that email has a lot higher engagement rate than SMS.
Sounds quite interesting. Yeah, I might think about this decision of implementing SMS into my business. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Inti, for explaining everything. I will reach you out, I would say, within a week or so. Okay.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, Tatyana, is I'm going to send you over a little example. So I'm going to send you over a use case in the retail sector for you to take a look at, and then basically take a look at that and have a little think about it, and then we can get together in a week or so. But I'm going to schedule a call in a week's time with you, and then what we'll do from that is I'll do a bit of work in the background, and I'll actually build out a kind of little bit of a view of how I think you can use it.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. You've got my email.
I have. I'd rather have your mobile number though, because I can message you.
Oh, so clever you are. But you've got my mobile number. You were calling me to the mobile number, so so yeah.
so stop the sales call in terms of that. But so obviously we're talking about a sales call now. I would, I mean, kind of post-pandemic, pre-pandemic, sorry, I would imagine that, you would be in the office and you would have been working at, there's a central number I could call and ask to speak to the head of marketing as an example. But, that kind of cold calling doesn't really work. Kind of now, post-pandemic, obviously people are a lot more mobile. So understanding the mobile number is quite important. So what a lot of businesses will do is not so much in SMS, but SMS they'll follow up and say, thank you for your call, really nice to meet you, here's my contact details, so that you've established that mobile contact. In the rich business messaging applications like WhatsApp and RCS as an example, where you can have you can have your business running in there, what some businesses will do is send you that proposal in WhatsApp. So actually you'll get it come to your mobile device. So you get a WhatsApp proposal. So it's a document in there. And obviously you can run WhatsApp on your desktop as well, which you can then download that proposal. But what you're engaging in email and SMS is really kind of one-way communications. It does respond, you can reply and all that kind of stuff. But in the rich business message applications, what you're engaging in is chat. And conversational commerce is where you start to build that relationship with the customer. It also identifies, particularly in we were talking about business messaging here, is when you as a business owner and you're looking at this service, it also then gets you to start to look at all the SMSs, all the messages you've received from businesses in there, because you'll see the one from your bank, you'll see a reminder from Amazon about your parcel delivery, you'll get a confirmation from eBay, saying that your complaints being handled. So actually you start to see that the majority of large brands engage in this way. They use SMS as the basic default within that, but when there's conversational commerce, they'll allow you to engage with chat within there. And the important thing just to remember about that is once you've established a chat, this then gives the consumer the opportunity to contact you as a business at any time going forward, because they've got your contact details and they come back to you. You've got an audit trail of it. So just as an example, you make an inquiry. So you sent me a promotion for buying a pair of jeans. I bought a pair of jeans from you and I went via the website. You ping me an SMS message saying your jeans are going to be delivered on Thursday. And then from that, you actually said, but you can chat with us via WhatsApp. So I move into a WhatsApp conversation. So all that dialogue is within my messaging session. My purchase, I can pay with my mobile phone, wallet's integrated, I can view the products. So when I want to come back and buy another pair of jeans 8 months later after they're worn out, I can revisit that conversation and come back from an engagement perspective. So actually, when we're talking in a retail context, what we want to try and do is stimulate the interest first of all, and then when you go back in with the next phase of things, you can go with the really, the real compelling whys. So, what's in it for me and how's it going to work?
What are other approaches you used to convince me during that talk?
I didn't do a very good job because obviously we're doing an interview, but I mean, what I really want you to do is I want you to engage and tell me things about your business, and that therein lies the hook into getting this done. Is I need to create some rapport with you within that that first 20 seconds, and in a very much of a cold in a very much of a classroom environment, that's very difficult to demonstrate. But some people, people are busy, so they've taken your call. So if you haven't articulated why you want to chat to them in the first kind of 20 seconds, they will, they won't engage. We're all in the situation where our mobile phone rings. It's a mobile number we don't recognise. We answer it, and they've got our details from something that has happened. That we didn't know we'd given compliance to. What I always do is when I respond to any marketing, when I'm going to give my details over, particularly if I'm not 100% sure of the company, what I always do is put a slight variance in my name. So I'll spell my name slightly differently, because then from that I can see the number of people that then get access to that name, and therefore start marketing me. It happens quite a lot, particularly in recruitment. Lots of recruitment agencies want your CV and then they sell your details all over the place. So yeah, going back to the customer, establishing that rapport, it's really difficult to do that. Obviously, video is a lot better. Face-to-face is kind of stuff, so make sure you're prepared and portrayed really well. Engaging in the conversation. How do you start a conversation? It's like if you're standing in the exhibition stand and the customer wanders past, they kind of look like they want to say something. What do you do? Do you go and speak to them or not? How do you engage with that? And normally, it's the soft skills that will get that going. And then, like I say, it's very much the brand and reputation of your product and service, which will then, if they're interested, they will engage. If they're not, that's fair enough. Don't worry about it. As long as you've left that call, without that awkward silence or them hanging up, then you've kind of done a good job in your cold calling.
Let's imagine again that I'm your lead, but this time I'm very irritated. So I'm just curious how you'll try to smooth the angles. Shall we try that?
Okay, what are you irritated about though?
I will try to be irritated. Usually I'm a happy person, but sorry, I want to say.
Okay, let's just wing it in. So, hi Tatyana, it's Andy from Mobilesquared here. How are you today?
Hi, yeah, sorry, I'm quite busy. Yeah, just quite a difficult day for me.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't really want to take too much of your time. Are you okay to talk now, or would you like me to give you a call back?
Yeah, if it's quite quickly, yeah, I would be really grateful if you make it as fast as possible. Yeah, I need to run.
Okay, I just really wanted to kind of introduce my company to you and just talk a little bit about how we could work together and I could help your business a little bit. So I just give you my kind of elevator pitch. We're specialists in the business messaging industry. We work with a lot of retail brands to help drive consumer engagement. I've got some really good case studies that I'd like to share with you and understand what you're doing at the moment. See if we can help you in any way.
Yeah, I still injury, and I'm not sure how your SMS would help me to send pants from one country to another. But yeah, whatever, go for it.
Okay, I know you're busy, so I don't want to steal too much of your time, but certainly within the mobile messaging environment, the way to think about it is there are 5.2 billion subscribers or consumers worldwide that have a mobile phone. And you can send a message to any one of those for 3 cents. So it really gives you the reach and scale that you want. And kind of, I know you don't work with all the customers in the world, but certainly what we can help you do is show you how customers that work in a similar kind of marketplace demographic to you have used that to obviously drive.
Yeah, wait. Let's go straight to the business. Okay, how much would it cost your SMS? Okay, yeah, I started to consider this opportunity, but how much?
So let me ask you a question first of all. How much do you make from every successful email campaign per user that responds or buys something from your company?
Yeah, I'm quite bothered with the data. I don't need the situation. I have my team who knows everything. So yeah, I have no idea. Yeah. So let's go straightforward. Why you ask? I need an answer.
So basically, I'm going to, the cost can be the same as what you're spending now on your email marketing campaign, as an example. But what you'll do is you'll generate 3 times the amount of engagement from your customers by using SMS. So whatever you're making from a successful transaction, 3 times that for the same cost as you're paying within your email.
What is the number?
What is the number?
Yeah, the cost of one SMS. To send
one SMS is, let's say, 3 cents roughly.
Yeah, I need to speak with my sales team. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. I might call you back. Not sure, but yeah. Thank you.
Well, Tatyana, before you go, why don't I just send you over a little ROI model that shows it'll compare what you do at the moment. So basically, you can input your figures in at your leisure, and then I'll include what the difference by using that SMS campaign would be. So you can have a little play with it yourself. And then what I'll do is you can contact me if you like, but I'm going to give you a call back in a week's time just to see how you got on with that. So I'm going to ping out an invite after the call, and I'll speak to you maybe when things are going better. Well, I hope you get your issues resolved, and have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye. Sorry,
That's right.
But you were quite patient with me.
Like I say, in the classroom scenario, it's really difficult to do that. To do that kind of use case example, because normally you won't. I mean, normally, so depending on who you speak to, buyers are trained to give you that type of treatment anyway.
Mm-hmm. So they wouldn't give this much time, you mean?
Well, no, they would. They would do exactly what you're doing. I mean, they would drive you on a point. And it isn't about cost. This is about value. So, when you talk about the price, I can give you a price, but it's irrelevant because it's not representing a value to your business. Now, but the thing we have left with is for the same cost for 3 times the return on your engagement. So that's what you're trying to say. If somebody, they may choose not to believe you. That's fine, and a lot of people won't. But actually, that is what your ROI from that is going to be. Is going to be based on you sending that calculation over that shows that, and that will pique the interest. And if they're not interested, they're not interested.
Andy, you did a wonderful job. You convinced me to do almost everything as an irritating customer and as a happy customer.
Well, I tell you, the thing is you can't, be prepared, because you're going to get all kinds of responses. But if you understand your proposition, you believe in it, and you've got a value proposition, then you'll succeed. You'll succeed. You're not going to succeed with everybody. Nobody closes 100% of business. 10% of people won't like you at all. 10% of people won't like the company you work for at all. So you've always got these margins in there. But there are a lot of people there that are genuinely feeling a bit of pressure. Are looking for some new ideas, and actually, they appreciate some help from a reputable company. What
is a good ratio of win and lose? I know that it differs from the company to company, but overall, if we consider general situation.
So I think if you convert 1 in 10 from a suspect to a prospect, that's quite a good ratio to work on. And then from a prospect point of view, kind of anywhere between kind of 25 to kind of 30-ish, 33%-ish. There's very few companies that win 50%, 50% of the business. you know, if you imagine cola, you got Coke and Pepsi, and you know they've got different market shares, and then you've got all the other kind of unbranded colas that sit in between. But they say, you know, Coke have got a 55% market share, but then Hilton hotels don't serve Coke because they fell out with Coke because they wouldn't give them some credit when they started up, so they sell Pepsi. So yeah, I mean, you're never going to get over 50%. I don't think, because that, you know, just the market influences within that. Unless you kind of, let's say, you know, the only variance to that I would say would be in smartphones. You know, Android smartphones versus Apple smartphones. You know, that Apple have got what 20% market share of the smartphone market globally, roughly. Android have got 80%, so you know, a bit different there.
Wow, 80%, yeah. Oh, I see. But definitely, this conversation was a win for us. Thank you very much for participating in this episode. We got so much valuable information coming to us. Thank you.
My pleasure. I need to go on to my next sales engagement call now, so hopefully I'll end up with the friendly versions of the Tatyanas and not the, you know, the busy customers. But
I'm sure it will be successful. Now I know you, and I'm sure it will be successful. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Speak to you later.